lockup, and he says inmate and detainee levels haven't been this high since the prison housed illegal immigrants from China years ago. The director telling us more needs to be done to increase the number of convicts on parole, and that in turn could help alleviate crowded conditions.
With parole, that should be another opportunity for people to live outside of prison and have an opportunity to prove that they can live out there without making trouble.
Ishizaki tells us the prison is going to be working on figuring out how many of its inmates would meet criteria, making them eligible for parole.
Low-risk convicts. And the courts have a risk assessment tool. We're not using it, and we're going to be using it. So we need to assess every convict we have to see what their level of risk is and to see if we can put them out.
But Ishizaki says DOC's parolees don't have a good track record.
Our parolees are not as successful.
But he says that parolees' lack of success is because of the government's failure. He says DOC has continually been shortchanged on its budget for years, meaning the prison has to do a whole lot more with a whole lot less.
We don't have programs to get them prepared for release. And the other one is we don't have enough parole officers to supervise them.
The director telling us there are currently 5 parole officers at DOC. He's in the process of hiring 2 more, but he says in a perfect world, he would hire 10 more. Ishizaki also says with a lack of supervision while on parole after serving time, the big brother relationship POs should have with parolees is basically non-existent.
You got to be at home before curfew. You got to be looking for work. You got to be at work. Don't hang out with the people who got you in trouble. And don't mess with drugs or alcohol. Kind of general conditions of release.
Right.
And so Big Brother is that parole officer who's going to try to keep you on a straight and narrow. And if we don't have that parole officer out there, then the chances of you straying from that narrow line is greater.
Ishizaki also plans to work with the judiciary to reduce overcrowding, since he says half of DOC's population is made up of pretrial detainees. For Guam's News Network, Chris Barnett reports.
48-year-old Melissa D. Hernandez was arrested and charged with 2 counts of family violence and 1 count of assault. The victim reported the incident on January 17th, alleging Hernandez was upset at her. When she tried to hide in a bathroom, Hernandez followed her and pushed her, hitting a sink. Hernandez also allegedly slapped the victim in the chest and shook her, court documents state. 52-year-old Benjamin San Nicolas Cruz is facing charges of terrorism, harassment, and disorderly conduct after threatening to harm and kill his neighbor. The incident was reported on January 12th, where one witness said she heard the victim from across the street threatening to kill her son in Chamorro. Court documents state she also heard what she thought were gunshots. The victim told police Cruz also made threats, including, "I'll break your face." Court documents state police were unable to find Cruz until the early morning hours of January 22nd, where he admitted yelling at the victim. And Senator Therese Terlahi wants more accountability for nonprofits that receive GovGuam funding, and she says a bill she's introduced will do just that. Chris Barnett has more.
With nonprofit groups receiving millions of tax dollars, Senator Therese Terlahi's Bill 267 aims to increase reporting requirements for those nonprofit organizations who receive funding from GovGuam. And there are quite a few of them. 17 nonprofits receiving $640,000 from the Tourist Attraction Fund this year.
The agencies have not been holding the grants accountable. And so when the audits come out, they're not looking good. And so it's really to show the agencies that they have to hold them accountable. Otherwise, they're accountable for distributing funds without, doing what we're requiring them to do right now. Somebody has to be responsible.
Senator Terlahi said audits have shown problems with the way nonprofits use government grants. Public Auditor B.J. Cruz's audit of the Guam Cancer Trust Fund found apparent violations or flaws on fund payouts and cited conflict of interest issues with a grant recipient. Terlahi introduced a measure earlier this year intended to increase Cancer Trust Fund monies going directly to patient care and services as a result of the audit. She says her Bill 267 strengthens existing requirements and will have consequences for nonprofits that skirt reporting requirements or misuse grant funds.
It lists everything that these nonprofits need to report on a regular basis as to how they are expending the funds. And so this bill would put some teeth into that law and say that if they don't report on this regular basis, that their allotment can be reduced by the agency, or the agency can terminate the contract.
Senator Terlahi also saying the bill will promote transparency.
How the government funds are being used by these nonprofits, so I think it would help to show everyone that is being put into this program or that program, and just help us all to decide whether we like that use of the funds or we don't. It's going to help us as a legislature to determine that what we think we're putting this money there for, that's actually what it's being used for. That's the most important part.
For Guam's News Network, Chris Barnett reports.
Roles are reversed as Maria Gutierrez was voted as the new chairperson of the Guam Education Board, and she replaces Mark Mendiola, who was elected as vice chair. During the latest Guam Education Board meeting, a unanimous vote elected Gutierrez for the leadership seat. Mendiola served as chairman for the last 2 years and said this will be his last year on the board and will do his best to carry their mission forward.
Our policy indicates that a chairman can only serve 2 consecutive terms, and so I've served for 2 years as chairman of the board, and so I'm very fortunate for the opportunity to serve, and I appreciate my colleagues' support in allowing me to hold the leadership position on the board. We'll continue our progress. We'll continue our work on the board. Some things to look forward to for the upcoming year. I know the priority of our board is to ensure that we have a balanced budget, that we also ensure that we work closely with the superintendent to address a lot of the issues and some of the deficiencies within the department as it pertains to whether it be through our finances, also our curriculums.
Both will be serving in their positions for a 1-year term. Gutierrez said they have a lot of work ahead, especially their state strategic plan. She added the GEB is a nonpartisan board and that she is committed to working together as a team and as one family to support Superintendent John Fernandez, the best interest of our students and employees, and the mission and vision of public schools. Stay tuned. Next on the Weekend Edition, we have trend spotting, and still to come, the Guam Crime Stoppers report.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now. Attention Guam business owners. Green Energy Solutions would like to help you save on your power bill. We supply various LED lighting, energy-efficient air conditioners, solar thermal VRF systems, and solar panels. You can count on our product warranty and quick turnaround and immediate response service. GESI has saved other local businesses over 80% off their power. Call us to see how much we can save your business. Call us today at 647-8111 or visit gesiguam.com for more information.
It makes myself and it makes my team members very proud to work for an organization that has been on island for many years with its focus on reliability, dependability, and commitment to the communities that they operate in.
Matson's a great corporate citizen to the community.
We all benefit from any sort of environmental commitment we make. One of the ways that we do that is with our Adahi Utano program. There's action behind it, and so action breeds commitment.
With the Kaimana Gila coming to Guam, this brings a new age and modernization to the island.
It's exciting for me because it's a brand new ship and we can carry more freight into the islands. It just shows growth for Guam and Micronesia.
Matson would be nothing without its customers, and we hope to continue to serve you for decades to come.
From a historic day for those waiting for war reparations to the illegal dumping in Jigo, here's what's coming up next on Trend Spotting. Hafid everyone, I'm Cami Aguirola and welcome back to another episode of Trend Spotting. Here are the topics that had you talking this week, starting with the illegal dumping happening in Jigo.
Jigo Mayor Rudy Matanani is done. He is fed up with the illegal dumping of his village. Just as soon as a cleanup is conducted, the place gets trashed all over again. Saying he's frustrated is an understatement.
You know, I'm thinking that people that do this should get the death penalty. I'm tired of doing this.
Multiple cleanups spearheaded by various residents, community organizations, and leaders have been held here along Chalin Ramirez, but for every good deed, the dumping persists. And it's not just along Chalin Ramirez. Matanani says from trash collected at another illegal dump site near Anderson Air Force Base, he found 2 names of people in the rubbish, one from a person in Inarajan. And for the mayor at this point, he just doesn't know how to put a stop to the chronic illegal dumping. He's been working with the Guam Environmental Protection Agency to issue citations, but it's clear he's reached his tipping point.
I'm calling everybody that thinks I'm not doing my job out. I hope that the person that dumped this is listening here now. And I would like her or him to come out and challenge me, because I like fighting when it has to do with my rights.
There were over 200 comments on Instagram and Facebook, but here are some of your top comments. At Bruce Camacho said, the mayor speaks truth. It is not his job to pick up trash, nor his office. It's everybody's responsibility to pick up after themselves. Some people litter and don't even realize it. Kudos, mayor. I could imagine how long you kept this inside. You said exactly what needed to be said. Much respect. Another Instagram user said, amen, mayor. He's right. Only the people who complain won't lay a finger on that trash. Stop complaining, people, and lend a hand and fix the problem along with the mayor and his crew. At John C. Uggins said, I've seen the mayor on many occasions in the village at all hours of the night, especially when there are police operations that have needed the mayor's assistance. I totally agree the penalty should include a very long time serving community service cleaning. At Exo Borja said, I don't know who needs to hear this, but Jigo Mayor Rudy is very good at what he does. He doesn't sit at the office like people think he does. He's out with his maintenance crew cleaning up the village, making sure everything is okay. Y'all need to get your act together and stop treating the island like a pile of trash. One day the island is going to turn on us and it'll be ourselves to blame. Don't ruin for the rest of us who actually care.
The family of Tiffany Enriquez says the messages of love and support have helped them cope with her senseless and tragic death.
She didn't make it. My world just stopped, and I feel this type of numbness that hasn't really gone away.
Hawaii and Guam are reeling from the death of 2 Honolulu Police Department officers. One officer, Tiffany Victoria Enriquez, a 7-year vet of the Honolulu Police Department, grew up on Guam. Enriquez was one of 2 officers fatally shot while responding to a report of a stabbing. The suspect was identified as 69-year-old Jerry Hannell. He reportedly was upset about being evicted. When police responded to the stabbing, Hannell began shooting at them. He then is accused of setting a home on fire, which in turn destroyed several others. KUAM News spoke to Enriquez's cousin Leilani Beneventi Nasser, who lives in California. She says Enriquez served in the Air Force Reserves and worked in corrections before entering the police force in Honolulu. A childhood friend from Guam said her laugh was so contagious, she's always smiling. She's outgoing, she's loving and caring. She's just overall an amazing individual. A very family-oriented, just the highlight of the day if you're in her presence. She just lights up the room. She just makes everyone feel comfortable, and it's just fun to be around her. The family of Tiffany Enriquez says the messages of support have helped them cope with her senseless and tragic death. Here are some of your comments. On Facebook, Diana Candido said, condolences to the family, and the courage her daughters show just shows what an amazing mother and woman she was for her children. Prayers to you all, and know your family now has an amazing guardian angel who is always around you to guide you and protect you. May she rest in paradise. Another Facebook user, Antoinette G. Idolor, said, condolences to you and your family on the loss of your mom. May she rest in peace and may she forever remain in your heart and memories. And Lupe Castro said, condolences to the families. Girls, your mama will always be with you in spirit.
The governor signs MOA for a local war claims payout.
It was a historic day for those waiting for war reparations as the governor announced the opening of the Guam War Claims Processing Center on Friday. The U.S. Treasury Department has signed off on the Memorandum of Agreement that will allow the local payment of war claims. An official signing ceremony was held at Adelup on Thursday. The local payout was made possible through the passage of Bill 181 by the Guam legislature, which Governor Lou Leon Guerrero signed into law on January 3rd. The Guam War Claims Processing Center is located on the first floor of the former Hakubotan building in Tumaning. The hours of operation will be Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. You are advised to bring a government-issued photo ID, your letter from the Treasury, or your adjudication letter. The phone number for the office is 482-0792. Information will also be provided on warclaims.guam.gov. The governor has committed to the first local war claim payout check by January 31st. On Facebook, Brian Adam LG Santos said, "Finally, some type of closure. Our grandfathers and grandmothers, along with our Sainas, can have peace of mind. Most didn't get to see, but some peace has been restored." Biba Guahan Hafaday from Idaho. Margaret Blas said, "Thank you, Congressman Michael Nicholas and Governor Lou Leon Guerrero for all the effort to bring it forward. After 3 congressmen and women and so many governors, it has finally made its way to our survivors."
In a viral video, a man threatened motorists with a fake handgun.
It was a scary moment for people who were driving in Dededo on Wednesday. A man in a video gone viral showed him walking and stumbling in the middle of the road and pointing what appeared to be a handgun at oncoming motorists was arrested. The incident occurred around 4 p.m. on Wednesday along West Santa Barbara Avenue in Dededo. When police arrived, they drew their weapons and ordered 45-year-old Frank Lagosones to drop his gun. He didn't comply at first. Police noted that he smelled of alcohol and his speech was slurred. They also discovered the silver handgun he was holding was a toy. Lagosones was charged with terrorizing, harassment, disorderly conduct, and public drunkenness. Here are some of your comments. Frank the Crank said, "Wow, that guy's lucky he didn't get shot playing with the toy gun." Another Instagram user said, "Reckless people like this should be taken out of the streets. Kudos to all the people who called the police. This is really dangerous, especially for kids walking home from bus stops or even schools." Just going to some places in Dededo or even around the island, you can see how much alcohol our people consume by the alcohol cans and bottles. We should have stricter laws and surveillance on the alcohol consumption.
Guam residents raise money for Australia.
Several members from the Association of Federal Firefighters were out with their boots at the ITC intersection on Tumuning collecting money for the Australian Red Cross.
It's in support of all the firefighters that are doing hard work out there, good work.
The newly formed nonprofit organization, which aims to boost morale for federal firefighters and assist within the community, wanted to hold the boot drive to help their fellow brothers and sisters who continue to fight the bushfires in Australia. And just down the road, St. Anthony School 5th grader Dion Tan and his little sister Tia were so sad to see the animals that were dying from the fires in Australia, they decided to hold a donation drive at the Tumuning campus. Their donation drive kicked off with the Guam Fire Department present to show their support. According to the SACS principal Robert Crisostomo, this is the only private school that has launched a fundraising effort for Australia and is challenging other schools to do the same. Here are some of your comments. On Instagram, at GuamGlow671 said, "So wonderful to see our kids who are our future be a part of helping animals in another country. Kudos to the parents and school who guided the kids." Another Instagram user said, "God bless. Thank you guys for helping Australia."
That's all for this week on Trend Spotting. Suduos Maasi for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Half a day, I'm in the club.
Half a day, welcome to Two Lovers Point.
Half a day, I'm in the club.
Shell's Million Miles giveaway is back, and we're giving 100,000 United Mileage Plus miles to 10 lucky winners. You can jet off to Japan, break away to LA, or even sightsee in Paris. So, how do you make a getaway? Just use your Lucky 7 card when you fuel up with 7 gallons or more, and you're automatically entered to win. Fuel up at your nearest Shell station today and start planning your new adventure. No purchase necessary. Some conditions apply. See store for details.
Half a day, everybody. In our tight-knit island community, crimes against animals, and particularly animal cruelty, are considered especially heinous. Sergeant Paul Tapau is here, and he knows a lot about this subject. And Sarge, there was a really, really disturbing case that we reported on recently about Zeus the dog. He became, basically a local celebrity because everybody was like, wow, this dog was incredibly mistreated, beaten essentially, right? Mm-hmm. But there is a silver line to the story, and the community did get together, got him proper care. The owner is incredibly grateful, but that doesn't escape the fact that something bad did happen to this animal.
Yeah, it's really, it kind of makes you wonder about the mentality of the individual that did this. And, we featured this many times with Cruelty to Animal. We've reached out with, we've established a communication line with GAIN. I am working closely with Cyrus, who is from GAIN.
Cyrus Lur?
Yeah, we're working closely with this. And of course, the pet lovers community throughout the island. And, a complaint was filed and a complaint was generated. And, this is the part where we asked the community to provide the help, because if you look at the severity of what had happened, they took the time to douse the dog, Zeus, with gasoline, and they severely beat him. I mean, that is really, it makes you wonder about the mentality of the individual that did that. And, there's some aspects into the investigation that we try not to put out and everything because of the integrity of what we're trying to get at. But, to have somebody do this, it's really, it's shocking, because our four-legged, family members are family members of the community and to the respective families. So, we want to bring justice. The Guam Police Department, they took the complaint, and of course, I am working closely with Cyrus. We've been corresponding since the day of the incident, and of course, providing the assistance in generating the complaint. So, any information that we can get and to help the family, and of course, bring justice to Zeus. This is one of many cruelty to animals that we featured. We've also reached out to the Silva family, and we work closely in highlighting Sumo, and hopefully bring answers to that. But we're starting to see that more reports of cruelty to animals being generated and reported to the Guam Police Department.
And that's a very good point, because I like, Sarge, how you said that we got involved, meaning GPD. And of course, this was a very high-profile case because we featured it. Obviously you got involved. But just for the betterment of everybody watching right now, if somebody knows about a cruelty to animal case, or their own pet has experienced abuse, and people want to go somewhere, they may not know. It's like, do I go to my mayor? Do I go to GAIN? But they're only like 8 to 5 Monday through Sunday, their hours. Do I go to GPD? Do I go to the fire department? Where can I go for help?
GAIN is really the best avenue, and the Guam Police Department. And the reason why I say GAIN is because of the communication line that we have with Cyrus and everything. And he has been an advocate for justice for the the abuse of pets within our community. Once he generates that, if a complaint hasn't been filed, I'll make sure I'll reach out to the respective command within that proper jurisdiction and everything else. And I asked I requested the command if had a complaint been taken, can we go ahead and generate a complaint, so that there's a criminal aspect behind this. And people don't understand that cruelty to animals is a felony offense. And this is where we can actually, as a community, working together collectively, bring justice to to the victims. Really, it's the family members. There is this connection that the family has to the respective pet, and it's really it's considered, they're considered family members. So it breaks the family. I mean, I can only imagine. I'm not a pet owner, but I can only imagine what goes through emotionally with the family. So we're working closely, and we want to feature this so that hopefully we can shed some light and get some information relative to this case.
And of course, it's well established, the connection between police officers and their canine officers, because you do have a canine division. We feature them sometimes on our Crime Time, live stream. And, people have said, officers have said, if anybody even attempts to hurt like another animal, because I'm so sympathetic to animals, don't hold my dog back, hold me back. Because that dog really is my partner. I know that dog would take a bullet for me. That's my partner when I'm out in the field.
As a handler, you got to establish the connection in order for you guys to be handlers. And, people don't understand that when we send our handlers back, or any handler that goes back for canine training, if they don't make the connection to the canine, you pretty much wasted a pretty penny, because these canines are highly trained working dogs. And, the first thing that needs to be established is the connection, because you're going to entrust your life on that canine, and the canine is also going to entrust their lives on you as the officer. So you got to have compassion, and they know, our four-legged, counterparts, they know when somebody is truly sincere and is able to provide care for the animal, and to be able to provide the extended care outside of police work. I mean, it really, they've adopted them and became part of their family. So it's
That's
really
immeasurable love, and those dogs will not quit to their last breath. They never stop working.
Absolutely. You saw that when we featured that in Crime Time. We had people from the LAPD SWAT commenting on how we've actually stepped up our efforts, and just seeing what we have with our working dogs, and that's the realm of police work. But as a citizen, it's different because they're working dogs, and here you have Zeus, who is a family member, and to hear this type of crime, it's really it's uncalled for.
Well, let's reemphasize this by shedding light on the crime of the week this week.
Yeah, this is the crime. It features Zeus. So please, if anybody has information, we ask that you submit a tip online at guam.crimestoppersweb.com.
All right, guys, here's what you need to know.
The Guam Crime Stoppers and the family of Zeus is seeking the help from the community relative to a cruelty to an animal complaint that occurred. On Tuesday, January 14, sometime before 9:30 in the evening, an unknown individual entered into a home located on Ikritang Road on Swamp Road, Dedido. The family member of Zeus discovered him drenched in gasoline and severely beaten. He was immediately treated for his injuries. Now the Guam Crime Stoppers is asking the help from the community relative to this case. If anyone has any information about this crime or any other crime, you can call our 24-hour hotline at 477-HELP, that's 4357, or submit a tip online at guam.crimestoppersweb.com. All calls will remain completely confidential, and a cash reward of up to $1,000 could be paid if the information provided leads to an arrest and a grand jury indictment. Your call does make a difference.
All right, good info as always, Sarge. And so the takeaway from this as we wrap up is that people can go to GPD if they have witnessed or if they know about cruelty to animals. Not a lot of people knew that. Again, we want to reinforce this. You guys actually do entertain crimes against animals, or you can direct people to the right resource.
Absolutely. It's something that a few years ago, when we had the individual that was arrested, that was out there in the Jigo proper, and he was shooting the dogs and the cats, and our detectives actually broke the case, and we dubbed them the Ace Ventura pet detectives and everything, and it was. It was something different that they've actually pursued as a criminal complaint. But as we started progressing more and pursuing more of the criminal charges for cruelty to animal, we're starting to see more of the community come forward. So, the board of directors from Gabe Baker has assured that it's about time that we pay attention to the our other family members, our four-legged family members, and provide that care. And we're going to continue to feature this. We're going to continue to shed some light, and hopefully we get some answers to who was responsible for this crime.
Thanks so much, Sarge. We appreciate it as always.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right. We'll see you after this.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
And before we close out our news tonight, our latest round of birthday shout-outs.
It's your weekend birthday shout-out time, so here we go, everybody. Happy birthday coming from Grandma Laurel, going out to my grandson, Javen James Charfris. We hope that Javen had a wonderful birthday. And also happy birthday number 24 to Christian Allen St. Nicholas, who blows the candles out on Saturday. On Sunday, your birthday shout-outs go like this. Happy birthday to Ian Regis, who celebrates a birthday on the day of rest. And Rihanna Sue Cruz. Happy birthday, Rihanna Banana. Hope you have a great day. Love you always, says your adoring family. Hope all of you had a fantastic birthday.
Remember, you can be part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online on KUAM.com. Please make sure to include with your photo your name and birthday. That's all the time we have from all of us here at Guam's News Network. Thanks for watching and have a safe weekend.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Green Energy Solutions, Inc. Visit GESIGuam.com or call